Well, hello everyone. Good afternoon and welcome to Live at the Waterhole. It is wonderful to be here with you. I'm looking forward to the show this afternoon, relaxing with you, enjoying the sights and sounds of whatever it is that comes to say hello to us. Starting off this afternoon at Tembe Elephant Park in Maputoland, Northern KwaZulu-Natal, where there is an elephant relaxing in the shade. Now remember everyone that this is a live and interactive show, so chat to me, say hello. Any comments and questions that you may have, you can send through to us via the Wild Earth website or the app. You can use either of those to get in touch, and you can also send through any comments and questions via the YouTube channel. And you can use @FC in the chat stream there if you want to make sure that you can chat to me, or you can join the conversation on X using the hashtag WildEarth, or the WhatsApp line that has been recently added, where you can also chat to us through that phone application. The number's on screen now, so you can add us as a contact and send through your comments and questions. Also, I did forget to say that I am Amy. I know they showed my name earlier, but that's me. And my last show actually for a little while. I'm going to be taking a bit of a break after today. Going to visit some family over the weekend and next week, and then I'll be back with the waterhole in about 10 days or so. This bull's come out now, clearly finished his rest there, maybe getting a little bit hot. Looks like a very warm day out here in northern KZN. Perhaps coming down to the water, giving himself a bit of a splash to cool down, or maybe making his way towards these mud wallows that these elephants love to use here at Tembe. Wow, hello everyone. Many of you saying hello today. Penelope, Haley, Fuzzy Dunlop. Indeed, Thirsty Thursday. Hopefully many animals are thirsty this Thursday. Wendy, lovely to hear about the rain in Port Elizabeth yesterday. That is quite a good amount to fill up the dams. I nearly said waterholes, but dams in the area. Oh, wow. That's where the party's at. Deb, lovely to be with you as well. Oh, Sandy, it would be fantastic to find a leopard today on the waterhole. You never know. It's happened before. It could happen again. Can hear somber green bull calling. These elephants are quite quiet, I must say. Relatively. Quite a few of them here all together. But that is the thing about elephants. They do tend to be a lot quieter than what we sometimes expect them to be. Other than the sounds they make while feeding or drinking, they themselves are quite quiet animals. They can be quite loud if they want to communicate with each other, or if there's a herd with some little ones that are being a little bit boisterous. But for the most part, most of the day, they just go quietly about their business. Oh, I thought this bull wanted to use the loo. He was just sort of deciding, is it going to happen now or not? And this is actually a really interesting thing to point out, is when you are looking at elephant dung and urine, it's fascinating to notice how you can actually tell whether it's a male or female that has done its business anywhere, but the road is probably the most open space where you can sort of compare. And if you see there, the penis of the elephant is ahead of where the poop comes out. So you sort of will have a patch of wetness and a patch of dung, one in front of the other one. Whereas when it's a cow, everything sort of happens in the same spot, and you find that the urine goes on top of the dung and sort of leaks around it. And that's because of the way their genitalia is positioned. So that's also just a fascinating thing to take note of. Obviously difficult to see from this distance here in this moment, but next time if anyone is maybe driving themselves around one of our national parks with elephants in South Africa, or perhaps on safari, you could ask your guide about it. But it is something to take note of if you do ever have the chance to.
Join me, Andrew Wistenholm, for an indescribable 6-night stay in the beautiful Albany of the Eastern Cape at Amakhala Game Reserve. Now this trip is going to be action-packed with a lot of storytelling, adventure, as well as the opportunity to make everlasting memories. We'll be exploring the best of Amakhala by staying at 2 luxury lodges, which will be the perfect blend of comfort as well as wilderness. Book your spot today and let's get ready to explore the wild beauty of Amakhala.
Become a Wild Earth YouTube member today and unlock extras and bonuses, like ad-free streams so you can stay immersed in your safari without any interruption. Have your burning questions answered first by me or other expert naturalists. Join now to avoid missing out on these amazing benefits. Help us connect people to nature.
We are thrilled to announce our new exclusive feature for YouTube members and explorers. Join us live every Tuesday for our sunrise and sunset safaris. Experience Tawny Tuesday like never before with up-close encounters and breathtaking moments. Don't miss out. Become a YouTube member or explorer today and immerse yourself in the heart of the bush. See you Tuesday.
Claire, yes, that one elephant did have a little bit of a droopy ear. I noticed it as well. This boy looks like he wants to chase the other one off. Oftentimes they'll actually display their penis like that, specifically to show dominance. It also has to do with thermoregulation because of all the blood vessels and things like that that are in the genitalia. You know, to cool off, it does work quite well in that capacity. But that looked very specific in terms of trying to just, intimidate that younger bull there. But with regards to the one with the floppy ear, it's something that we actually see relatively often in elephants. It's not the first time I've seen an elephant like that. I think there's one that we see up in Kenya with a similar ear. Also either folded forward, so the cartilage has been bent the wrong way, or it sort of droops down and backwards, folded backwards, so it doesn't sort of open up in the same way as other elephants. But it doesn't seem to have any sort of negative effect that we can notice, and especially to see the fact that they're grown and getting to this size means that it's not affecting their development. Alex, Maputoland is in northern KwaZulu-Natal. It sort of is... Zululand and Maputoland can overlap in some places. Zululand referring to the original inhabitants, the Zulus of specific areas. Maputoland tends to go up a little bit further north towards Mozambique. And so they sort of... Either way you look at it, whether it's Zululand or whether it's Maputoland, you're looking at right up north on the eastern side of South Africa. Basically, Durban is one of the main cities in KwaZulu-Natal, and if you travel straight up north from there, all the way up to basically the border with Mozambique, you're looking at the area that we're talking about now. Oh, Marissa, you are asking what I'm most looking forward to during my upcoming break. Without a doubt, to see my husband. It has been a very long time that we've been apart, nearly a month, and so that is without a doubt the top thing that I'm looking forward to in a few days. And then yes, just seeing family, spending time together, and resting, of course, is a big one. Trying to just go for some lovely walks, do some birding around where we're going to be, and just enjoy some downtime, really. Well, there we have a fantastic view of that floppy-eared elephant now. He did sort of turn his head. I'm sure he'll turn it again. He's just behind this one that's closest to the camera. And it would be interesting to see if it's actually an injury that he sustained at some point, or if he was born like that. I can imagine that sometimes even during the birthing process an ear might be sort of squished or bent the wrong way, and it's not able to ever recover. It's interesting, isn't it? Looks like it has 1 or 2 holes. But I think that's just from wear and tear over time. We can only speculate as to what happened with this elephant's ear, but he seems to be doing fine, living his best life, full of delightful mud cooling off. Doesn't seem too bothered by it at all. Tennis, you'd like to know when I will be back on live drive. It will be at the end of April. So 2.5 weeks or so. I will be back behind the wheel for some live drives at Sandringham. So I'm very excited about that. Mika's directing the show today, and she says that hopefully I'll be the one to be able to find the leopards at Sandringham. Me too. But it's a process, let me put it that way, to get them used to the vehicles, and it will just take time. But even just a glimpse of one on camera live will be fantastic. So fingers crossed I'll bring the luck with me when I arrive there in a few weeks. Bluebird Carer, you are looking after a lady named Pauline. Hi Pauline, thank you for being such a faithful and loyal viewer, and I hope that you enjoy the show. Thank you for watching, and we are very grateful to have you on board with us here at the Waterhole Show today.
Join Wild Earth Travel on a unique nature adventure in the Greater Kruger Park. Legendary master tracker Renius Mhlongo leads a 4-day animal tracking experience in the Sabi Sand Nature Reserve. This experience offers a life-changing chance to track Africa's iconic animals on foot with a master of his craft. Renius is joined by Wild Earth presenter and expert storyteller Amy Krantz, and together they will connect you to Africa's wild heart.
Become a Wild Earth YouTube member and unlock exclusive bonuses and benefits. Enjoy uninterrupted, ad-free streams so you can stay immersed in nature. Have your burning questions answered first by me or other expert naturalists. Enjoy exclusive access to special broadcasts and videos, and help us to connect people to nature.
My full name is Cedric Leslie Dold. The best driver at Wild Earth, it is me. I believe I'm the best driver. I think so, because best part of my job, I say, is just to try and look out for these animals, track them down. I love tracking animals. I love looking for, fresh tracks, and if you can find them, it's just at the moment of accomplishment. If I wasn't a presenter for Wild Earth, I would be the drummer for AC/DC.
Welcome to Safari Spotlight. We'll be
And you pretend like you're a salesman, eh?
Got no idea what's going on in this reserve. Expecting the unexpected.
Are we stuck down there?
What am I trying to do?
So we have another giant of Mabula.
That was incredible.
This is unbelievable.
It's going to be a spectacular afternoon.
But all the ones I mentioned, there's sour plums as well, lots of different fruits, fruit trees out here. Hendrik, hello to you. Thanks for saying hi. Mercedes as well. Welcome. Vivette, welcome as well. It's so wonderful to have everyone watching and saying hello. This is great. Ooh, that's cool. Let's head up to Kenya. So Mika promises me that there were birds here. I'm going to take her word for it. Oh, there they come. So those are the wattled starlings that we saw yesterday in what seemed to be hundreds that came to flock down here for water. And it was very entertaining to watch. So we wanted to share it with you again. But we'll just wait a second to see if they come down. They are flying past there. Well, while we wait, Sandy, you were asking what a boma is. So a boma, it traditionally is sort of like a fenced off, secured area that often people would sit in, but also to put cattle in or livestock. Also something like that in other African languages is referred to as a kraal. So that is where what it is. The word itself, I believe, is Swahili in origin, the language spoken here in East Africa, and basically, like I said, an enclosure or something like that for livestock to be protected in, but also where people can gather. And that has sort of been adapted into the safari experience where one comes into the boma as a group and you enjoy a traditional meal. They are the starlings. And it's sort of this wooden, generally a wooden structure that's in a circle. Kaz, you're asking if this waterhole, if it's normal, the water level for this time of year. So this particular waterhole here at El Doño is actually pumped. So when the animals do frequently visit it, it does drop the level somewhat, but it can also refill if there's a period where not so many animals do come. There's a small inlet pipe on the far side that sometimes we even see the elephants going to specifically, and then it fills up almost sometimes right to the top, so we don't even see the stone area that the water covers it completely. So I suppose the drop in level is very normal, and I'm sure it will fill up eventually. But there's a lot of rain. You can see the clouds in the sky at the moment, so even if it wasn't pumped, they might not be pumping it at this time of year as well, because of the fact that there's so much rain around, and they could be letting it naturally drop and then fill up again with the rains instead of providing water. Well, they have finally arrived in the spot we were hoping for them to arrive, so that you can see these beautiful starlings. There's a lovely male right in front there. You could see his black wattle hanging down, as well as the very bright yellow around the face. The ones that are a little bit plainer there, those would be females, and then the juveniles wouldn't have that little sort of black beard that comes down on the side of the face. Well, it seems that these birds are on the go. We are going to head over to a croc at Tau. Now, there's every chance that this is the same croc that we've been looking at over the last few days, but it also could be a different one. There are multiple crocs in this waterhole. But it's looking very comfy. Oh, a dragonfly just landed on its back. Well, one of the insects that fall into that sort of group. I suppose why not? If you're landing on its tail, I mean, that's very far from the part that's dangerous. But wow, what a beast. It's one of those really, I think crocodiles and rhinos are the most prehistoric looking animals out here. They look like they're from another world, particularly crocodiles with their sort of scaly exterior.
Join Wild Earth Travel on a unique nature adventure in the Greater Kruger Park. Legendary master tracker Renius Mhlongo leads a 4-day animal tracking experience in the Sabi Sand Nature Reserve. This experience offers a life-changing chance to track Africa's iconic animals on foot with a master of his craft. Renius is joined by Wild Earth presenter and expert storyteller Amy Krantz, and together they will connect you to Africa's wild heart. Join the Wild Earth YouTube superfan community and unlock a world of additional perks. Get exclusive early access or discounts to Wild Earth travel deals. Wear the best bush attire with merchandising discounts. Enjoy an interactive live monthly private safari. Don't miss out on the ultimate fan experience. Join the YouTube superfan community today. Every month, something wild lands in your inbox. From rare sightings and behind-the-scenes secrets to expert stories, seasonal changes, and exclusive travel opportunities, the Wild Earth Journal is your free monthly mailer, packed with the magic of the wild straight from the field. It's fun, it's free, it's full of surprises. Sign up now on the Wild Earth website.
Oh, that's cool. We've got some springbuck and impala there. which I find fantastic in these regions where there is overlap between the two species, because so often we get asked the question, and many of you at home may wonder the differences between springbuck and impala, and sometimes the name is exchanged, even with guests I have on safari. Sometimes they'll, more in the regions where I guide mostly, we've got impala, and so they get called springbuck, and it's sort of just this sort of default setting, I suppose, what we refer to a bookie that looks a certain way, but they are actually completely different species. And there are these few little spots in South Africa where we have these overlap between things like springbuck and impala, and they can survive successfully, and Madikwe Game Reserve is one of those places. It's sort of this eco zone that transitions from sort of an arid habitat into bushveld, and so that's why both species are actually able to survive. Spas, lovely to hear from you. I am not sure exactly how many crocs there are in the waterhole. Definitely one. I have seen 3 here previously when they were eating a warthog kill, but I do not know at this moment in time how many there could be here. Alright, let's head back over to the elephant pool party. Oh, hooray. We do love the elephant pool party, don't we? It's just the best to see these boys having fun. We were focusing on elephant ears earlier, and Deb, you asked a question of where do the sound waves actually go in. So an ear of an elephant is much like ours. If you just sort of think of the general shape and where our ear hole is, it's exactly the same for them. So we'll see if we can get a close-up for you. They're a bit far at the moment. But if you follow basically up at a 45-degree angle from the eye to the ear, you'll get to the ear hole. So the pinna, or the very large outer ear, right sort of next to the skull, on the same side as the face, you will get the ear hole and where the sound waves actually go in. I think they are not really going to go far. Probably go throw some sand on themselves now. Maybe start feeding around here. Here's a boy that might give us a chance to show you the ear hole if he sticks around. So it's there really in line with the temple, where the ear meets the skull. There will be the hole where the sound enters. Diane, hello, thank you for joining us. You live in the Cape and you are so happy that you get to watch Wild Earth all day. Well, we are so happy that you do too. Thanks for joining us. Oh, awesome. Let's head up to Zimbabwe for some hornbills. Here we have some southern ground hornbills, everyone. This is very cool, I must say. Lovely to have them on camera. I don't think I've had them on a waterhole camera before, so this is a great addition to the show.
At Wild Earth, we believe every story has the power to create change. That's why we've launched the Wild Earth Impact Foundation, a non-profit dedicated to conservation and social impact. By showcasing conservation stories, we can change lives, protect nature, and empower communities. We have partnered with Empowers Africa to accept tax-deductible donations from US donors. Your donation will help fund critical programs that support our mission. Join us and be part of the change.
I get to wake up every morning and go out there and look for cats. I get to create my everyday safari for myself. I grew up in the sort of central eastern suburbs of Johannesburg, fully qualified trails guide and a fully qualified nature conservationist. I love the wild places. I love being in the wilderness. It's probably one of the best jobs I've ever had and probably ever could have.
They are endangered, and it's that process of breeding that's so slow. They'll only ever raise one chick. They lay two, but the second egg is always destroyed or eaten or abandoned, let's say. And the first chick, they don't necessarily always raise it to fledging age, and then second to that, they don't breed every year. Sometimes they can only breed every 5 to 7 years. They might have a chick, so it's a slow process for this bird. But they are beautiful, and I always get so excited to see them out on safari. Kaz, yes, you can tell between male and female when it comes to adult southern ground hornbills. The females have an extra bit just below the neck, so they both have that sort of red pouch, and that's below their heads. But the female has an extra bit. It looks black at a distance, but it's actually a navy blue color patch of skin that runs just sort of on the throat. Which the male doesn't have. His throat is completely red. Here we have an impala as well as a marabou stork that are soaking up the rain, it looks like. And you can see that the rain really doesn't bother these animals too much. It's just the nature of being out here. Darkmane Lover, hello to you. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. And it has been a really awesome show so far. Plenty of elephants and some birding as well. They are beautiful, beautiful birds, these southern ground hornbills. I'm so glad that we can at least see them. I know they are quite far away. And I think we were talking about male and female. I think that's a female. You can just see it's quite dark on her throat there. Yes, so that will be a female. And then the juveniles have sort of, depending on how old they are, it takes I think 5 years for them to become full adult coloration. But the juveniles are more yellowy, orangey color in the facial skin, where we see the red on the adults. Oh wow, there's a whole flock of these marabou storks here. Let's head over to King's Camp for some more birding. And such is birding, everyone. I do think that the pied kingfishers that we hear will return. Generally, they'll fly down to catch something and then hopefully come back to a branch where we can see them. Pied kingfishers are so beautiful, black and white birds, very long, sharp beak. Often, sometimes they hover above the water. Oh, something's landed there on the left. Is that a bee eater? Oh no, it's the kingfisher. There we go. I just saw the tail sort of flicking back and forth, which often we see little bee eaters do. But like I said, has returned to the branch. How beautiful is this? That beak is literally the length of its entire body. It is like a spear. And this is a male pied kingfisher, and we know that because of the double band on the chest. So that second band that runs sort of between the wings, only the male has that, whereas the female just has the sort of one below the neck, the thicker band. Oh, I can hear them. That's them calling. Oh, and we have a terrapin friend sunning itself. And pied kingfishers feed almost exclusively on, or mostly fish, but water dwelling animals. So whether it's fish or a frog or even a tadpole maybe, but most of the time we see them catching small fish. Can see this terrapin is changing color as well as we sitting here watching it. Okay, when we arrived, I think it was completely dark, if I'm not mistaken, and now the sun is doing its job and drying off that shell. We have a pair of laughing doves in the background that have come for a drink too. Darkmane Lover, I agree with you. The clouds are very beautiful today all over. Particularly here in the Lowveld where I think it's quite warm. In fact, the Lowveld's winter has definitely not yet arrived. From reports from home tell me that it is still very warm. And in fact, it's only probably in at least another month or so when we will start to see the day temperatures become significantly lower than 30 degrees. Oh wow, look at that. I wonder if it's going to try and get off. Oh, this is one of my favorite things to see when they do their sort of air swimming, which is how they slide off of whatever they're on. What was interesting there to see, which is something we don't always take note of, is how a terrapin pulls its head into its shell. And it's one of the things that differentiate it from turtles and tortoises, which are in its same family group, taxonomically speaking. And it has to turn its head to the side to be able to pull it in, whereas a tortoise will retract its head straight back. A terrapin has to turn it to the side to pull it into the shell. That nest is built by red-billed buffalo weavers. I think there's 2 different little sets on this tree. But I think that time of activity has also passed now, with summer come and gone. So everything is a little bit quieter. Ah, beautiful. Here we have the other half of the pair. The female, you can see, lacking that secondary band across the chest. The little bits of light across her, which is the reflection from the water. Oh, she might fly very soon. As soon as they spot something, I think kingfishers that hunt in the water are incredible. The fact that they are so precise with what they can catch, adjusting for the refraction of light through the water. I mean, you try and grab something in the water, you often end up left, right, top or bottom of what you're trying to get. And these birds just have an amazing ability of adjusting for that and still being able to catch what they're looking for. That looks like some sort of a wasp nest, maybe, that's been built there. Let's head over now to Cataipan. Wow, well, I haven't been to this waterhole, well, it feels like years, but it would only be a few months. Definitely not this year yet. So it's very cool to be back here. And this is a great camera. We've often had last year baboons coming up and giving us a really close view, and so are the impalas. I spotted an oxpecker there. That's on that impala. Tracy, you say the best sighting you've had of cat eye is when the elephants have come close to the camera. I can imagine how cool that must have been to see. Actually, quite a few impalas around, which is nice to see. Very glossy coats, enjoying the grasses here and little shrubs and shoots. Now we are in that time of year where we're going to start seeing the impalas ratting. The males go a little bit crazy and testosterone levels rise, and they start to compete for dominance for groups of females. I haven't heard anything yet, but I'm sure it's not too far away from the rutting impalas visiting us on the Waterholes show. We've had to come across to Tembe, everyone. Apologies for that, but we've got some perfect timing to see these bulls having a bit of a mud bath.
Chidzana natsi maran tumbuluko.
South Africa's wild places are closer than you think because Federal Airlines brings them to you. From the calm of our Federal Lounge to the smooth boarding of our trusted fleet, we take care of the journey so you can enjoy the adventure. Our flights go beyond the ordinary, connecting you to South Africa's most remote and extraordinary locations. Federal Airlines, your gateway to the South African wild. Wild Earth Travel would like to take you to Namibia and Botswana. Drift over the desert in a hot air balloon, then glide through the lush Okavango Delta in a dugout canoe. This extraordinary journey blends dramatic landscapes with outdoor adventures and unparalleled wildlife encounters. Discover Africa like never before. Book now with Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
Kylie, you'd like to know if elephants use their tails for any kind of communication, and yes, they do. It's not so much that the tail is purposefully used to pass on a particular message, but we can read an elephant's behavior, or let's say its attitude, or its sort of what it's thinking by what the tail is doing. So most of the time a tail is just like what we're seeing on this bull, flicked from side to side, chasing the flies away, not doing very much other than that. But when an elephant does get upset for a variety of different reasons, that tail tends to go straight back in a line from its rear end. So when you see that on an elephant, often when it's they're running away from something or running towards something, maybe there's lots of trumpeting, maybe a young one is upset, maybe they've smelt lions, maybe they are charging, but that tail tends to go out straight back behind them, and then that is a form of communication through that, using their non-verbal way of letting something know that, along with a whole bunch of other things, let them know that they're not happy. I think it's not something that they're conscious of. I think it's something that happens as their sort of muscles tense up, probably around that area of their body. There's a little emerald spotted wood dove that was just there as well. Well, there we have some white-faced whistling ducks just there on the left, and I think a juvenile on the right, unless it's just got its head the wrong way. It's looking a little bit different. Wow, those somber green bulls are really calling now. And often you just hear that first bit of the call. But then here, particularly in northern KZN, we hear the full call. I don't hear that full call anywhere else that I hear somber green bulls. Do, 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 do. It's such a great call. Well, we are going to head back up to Hwange in Zimbabwe. Well, from white-faced whistling ducks to some Egyptian geese that are out here foraging. KG, you'd like to know which bird species would feed on these birds. I would say large birds of prey would be capable of capturing something like an Egyptian goose, one of the eagles, definitely. Other ones maybe a hawk eagle as well, although it's borderline a bit too large for that. But younger ones can be captured by all kinds of birds of prey, especially the goslings. They can be caught by sparrowhawks, eagles, lots of different goshawks as well would also be an option for that. Thanks, Deb. Yes, I'm looking forward to getting to Sandringham. It's been on the cards for a while. I have been fortunate enough to see the reserve a bit already. I popped in there a few times. So it will be nice to finally be able to get out myself on my own drives and enjoy the property and all it has to offer, discover.
Zitatamana wena moya wa mina ukomba wena takuranza lokutama na wena ayina
It's been a great morning out and about and exploring.
That is amazing. It's very hard to explain what this feels like.
The Wild Earth Impact Foundation is a non-profit that uses the power of wildlife storytelling as a force for good. We create sustainable development projects that showcase conservation stories, empower people, and inspire environmental action. As a registered South African PBO, you can make a tax-deductible donation to the Wild Earth Impact Foundation. To find out more, visit our website.
Ahina nchumo, ahina maka Emavo kwenye yambilu, ahina maka Lifasila mina ritapela Zatsemba, utatsamana mina.
Step into the heart of Africa from the comfort of your home.
Female leopard tracks over here.
Join our expert guides for a live 3-hour safari where every moment is real, unscripted, and unforgettable. Ask questions.
Animals rely on their senses.
Share your thoughts and be part of the experience as we explore together. Safari Live.
Can you hear that? The wild is calling.
Francois, you'd like to know which is the fastest antelope. So the fastest antelope is called a tsessebe. It's actually one of the species that we see at Mabula. But yeah, there's a few can occur in the Kruger as well. I've seen them up and around Mopani camp in sort of the central northern part of Kruger. Is a great place to see tsessebe, and their top speed is over, I think it's just 90 kilometers per hour or just over that, which is very, very quick. I think the Thompson's gazelle in East Africa reaches about 87 kilometers per hour. So the fastest is the tsessebe. Kate, you'd like to know if all antelope have rutting seasons. No, they don't. Actually, not very many do in comparison. If you compare those that rut and those that don't, impalas are one of the few that actually go into a particular season of rutting. Most other species, they do sometimes have breeding season, but in terms of that sort of rutting behavior that we see in the impala, it's not something I've observed in other antelopes where the males sort of start making these crazy noises and things like that. I know that in North America with the likes of elk and deer, they also do go into breeding time and they also make calls and things like that to attract females. But when it comes to most other antelopes, particularly in southern Africa, they have different ways. Although they might have breeding season, it's not necessarily what we refer to as a rutting time. Well, that looked like a little bit of rutting behavior there, I must say, with one male chasing around another one. Oh, they're the hornbills. They've come a little bit closer. That's wonderful. That family of 6 ground hornbills there moving through the veld. Well, hopefully those hornbills come even closer and we get to catch up with them again. But for now, we're going to head over to Stony Point. Well, these dussies are really loving life here in the sun, I think, and looking very, very cute perched here on the rocks. Well, who knows, we might be back to them while they enjoy the sunshine. Those ground hornbills have come back out at Wanga. Well, I wanted to come back here because watching hornbills, oh, those are doing some preening. Oh, are they? Yes. Watching them walk through the veld and forage is actually, well, I don't know if you could call it foraging or hunting, but finding food nonetheless is so fascinating. They can be very entertaining, especially if they catch something large like a snake or a lizard, sometimes even a tortoise. There was a comment earlier about, I think it was Mindy, who was commenting about how you don't realize how big these birds are. They are over 1 meter tall, in fact 1.1 meters. So yes, that is very tall. That would basically be, I would say, maybe my waist height also, yeah, which is incredible. They are huge. Oh, good question, Sandy. You'd like to know which animal has the most accurate warning call. I would say a kudu bark or a nyala or bushbuck bark is probably the most accurate. You know they're only going to do that if they've seen something. And usually that something is a leopard or a lion, but because of the habitat that they dwell in, it's usually a leopard. So that's a great a warning call to rely on. Monkeys, francolins, squirrels, they can all be a little bit unreliable because they'll also alarm call for a lot smaller things that aren't necessarily what one is looking for to see. They are accurate in that there's something that might be a threat, except for squirrels. They also do a lot of territorial calling that can sound like an alarm. But monkeys are pretty good as well. Baboons too, but like I say, they can also alarm call for smaller things as well.
April 13 marks the beginning of something powerful. Wild Earth is launching a special fundraising drive for our non-profit, the Wild Earth Impact Foundation. We're raising funds to source, create, and showcase thousands of untold stories. Stories that spark real action in conservation and social impact. Join our live fireside chat to learn more and explore how you can become a founding donor.
Best sighting I've presented, I found myself with wild dogs. We chased the dogs around, chased them around they ate an impala. We got the end of that. Then another impala went into Gowrie Dam down the road there, and the wild dogs went around. Eventually the impala came close to the bank. One wild dog went and grabbed it and then just pulled it out and just did what wild dogs do. It was an emotional experience, but it was very, very special. We are here with a male leopard.
Well, this flock of starlings is so fascinating. Can you hear some francolins? And of course these elephants that are drinking. And one in the middle only has one tusk. It almost looks like he's never had a second tusk, just because of how flat that side of the face or that side of the trunk is. If there was still the stub of a tusk there, it would still be quite wide on the side with the thickness of the tusk, which is basically a modified tooth in there, but it looks completely empty. So either perhaps there was an intervention by the conservation team, that tusk got inflamed or infected or something like that, and it was removed, or he only grew one tusk ever, or it fell out on its own for whatever reason. Mindy, one ton, we saw him here 2 days ago, I think, yes. We didn't have the longest sighting of him. He was sort of moving away, but it was definitely him. Wow, look at all those birds. Victor, yes, they do tend to have very clean sets of tusks at the moment. I think perhaps with all the rain that's fallen has cleaned them off nicely. but it could also be that they haven't really needed to dig up too much or been in too much mud to make them dirty. We also have some guinea fowls popping out now. I wonder if they're going to get to the water at all. There is some space on the left. Oh, Dark Main Lover, you are so right, and I think that is why we do it and enjoy it so much, is because of how therapeutic it can be. Look at these two in sync at the moment. This boy's got a little bit of a hairstyle going on, a bit of an accessory. Clearly picked some grass and threw it up, which landed on his head, and now he feels embarrassed, so he's moving off. Deb, I would love to see a hummingbird one day. They are incredible. All the different species as well that one gets. And I'm glad that you are looking out for them, and I hope you have many lovely sightings when they do finally arrive. There's some helmeted guinea fowl. Melody, no. Elephants are not only feisty, as you say, with each other when in must. We see many bulls having a bit of a spar or a tussle, and they're not in must at all. In fact, it's often the younger ones that we see having a go at each other, determining their strength and practicing their fighting skills. Wow, these guinea fowl are so beautiful. Yeah, Nina, me too. They are so beautiful. But they are moving off. So we are going to head to Elephant Pan. Well, this is a beautiful spot here in Botswana, and we've had so many lovely sightings. And often they are of elephants that hang out here at Elephant Pan. I actually thought I saw an elephant there, but I think it was just the trees.
For years, we've shared virtual wildlife. Now, let's experience it for real. I'm Lauren Arthur, and I'd love to show you my amazing home here in the Greater Kruger of South Africa. This 5-night journey is an exclusive connection to my piece of untamed Africa. I live here in these gorgeous landscapes surrounded by epic wildlife. The wild is calling, so come and join me.
We understand that not everybody has got spare pennies to rub together at the end of the month. We're introducing an initiative called Gift an Explorer.
So that those with lots of pennies can gift a Wild Earth Explorer access to those with fewer.
We're aiming for 250 gifts, but the more the merrier.
You can nominate a recipient or keep it anonymous.
It's a great way to share the Wild Earth mission with other nature lovers around the world.
And quite a lot of babies, goodness me. They've done very well to get so many to that size. I mean, they pretty much almost the same size as mom and dad. Wow, that is excellent. There must be well over 10 there. Oh, shame that one, the parent goose seems to have a sore leg. It's hobbling a bit. Darkmane Lover, thank you for joining us. I'm so glad that you enjoyed the show today. It has been filled with so much in terms of wonderful elephant sightings at both Tembe as well as Oldonyo, which was lovely. A bit of birding along the way, antelopes that we enjoyed too. And a lot of wonderful conversation, I must say, with all of you watching from home. So to everyone who did send through comments and questions, we do appreciate it very much. Jody, yes, I have been camping in the bush many times. It is the best. I love doing it, especially when on trail you go walking and then sleep out in the bush. It's great. Highly recommend it. But also just camping in the Kruger within the camps and that sort of thing has also been a wonderful experience. Deb, thank you so much. I am looking forward to a little bit of a break coming up from this weekend, and I will miss the show, of course, but I'm glad. It's good to know that I will be back with you all in about 10 days or so. So that's going to be great, and the show will continue though. It will be back tomorrow. I just will not be here. The live sunset safari will also be in an hour's time right here on Wild Earth, so make sure that you all stay tuned for that. But from all of us here at Wild Earth, thank you so much for joining us today. We wish you a pleasant day or evening ahead, depending where you are in the world. And we will see you all again next time. Goodbye for now.